All right, this weekend is floor pan weekend. So on the 1970 Dodge D200, I'm going to work on the driver's side floor pan. So if you'll notice, the door does not close very well. I believe it is related, and so does Cam, to the cab mount. As you can see, I got all this peeled back to see what actually we're dealing with. And the cab mounts through the floor. It looks like the rot happened on the inside, like this insulation or padding stuff that went in it. It probably causes cancer. Absorbed water when it was leaking, stored outside. And because the underneath is actually decent, it doesn't look this bad. So, but anyway, I'm going to redo the cab mount. I need to take that off. And I'm going to show a picture of what the floor pan looks like. Like if you search for a 1970 Dodge D200, D100, whatever floor pan, you get the weirdest different results all over the place. It's very weird. And there's this one company, I'll show the pic right now, that is the closest to what I think it's actually supposed to look like. And, it's quite pricey. I understand if you don't have the tools, or if you don't want to do it, you just want something that you can drop in there and weld in, then I would say that would be the one to buy. But I'm going to try to make them. I do enjoy this anyway. So my plan is to take out the cab mount. I want to raise the bed up underneath. So I need to find, I think this right here, this is pretty cool. This is the windshield washer squirter. It's a foot pedal. This is the first vehicle I've ever had that had one of those. I thought it was pretty cool. It doesn't work, but I'm going to see if I can get it to work. The port on the inside is broken. And even used ones that are OEM are like $100 for just a foot pedal. So that seems a little unnecessary. So I might take that out, because I got to take it out anyway, and then see if I can, fasten a 2x4 to it, and then use that to jack up the cab. Because I think, let me put this all back. If you look at the cab, the gap down here is much bigger than the gap up here. So I think because of that mount, the cab has sunk, and that's what's causing my door jam issues. And if I can raise that back up, I don't know if you can see the line. To me, this line does not meet the door swept line is like, all of it's just kind of sinking down. So my hope is if I bring that back up to where it's supposed to be, then I can build the mount, build the cab corner, do the whole floor pan, and hold it in its proper position, and then the door will close like it should. But usually everything I do goes sideways. So we'll see. We'll catch it all on video. So I'm going to remove the cab mount and start working on a template. Well, that was no fun. I basically had to cut it off in pieces because there was no way that bolt was coming off. So this is what the existing one was made of. And then this is one that I got. I think this is for a 71 D200. And I'm gonna try to use that. It's about the same height. And from what I understand on the swept line forums, there's not much difference between the pucks are not like, advanced. A lot of them are just, well, you can see right here, it's just really your whole cushion is probably this stuff that almost looks like the rag material that a steering box would be from. Anyway, so that's out, and now I can remove the foot pedal and see if I can lift this cab up a little bit. So moving on. Okay, so you can see I have a jack here with the 2x4 running up that's kind of holding up this portion front cab. And when I do that, this closes like I want it to, like a normal vehicle. So that's awesome. You can see here that, that's about the height that I need on the cab mount. And after further analysis, I can see this is an inner cab mount. And then, so I have two things to build here. That's cool. So I will do that. I did get this off. This was about as difficult as the cab mount. But yeah, so I think they sell replacement ones of these, but I don't know. I'll have to come up with a creative way to put another port on it, nipple, whatever you call it. And then that might work again. But I am pleased that now there also is, looks like someone tried to put a washer or something under here. Probably in an effort to straighten the doors out without fixing the rust hole. So I can take that off, but it's actually hitting on the bottom side. No, actually, no, I mean, that closes really well. So pleased with that. And then I can work on the gaps and stuff. I mean, it's not gonna be perfect, but I just want to be able to get in the truck without having to like pull up on the knob. And you saw in the video where my wife was trying to get out of the car. I mean, it's so hard to get out that she couldn't even open the door. So now she can. All right, so here is my rough template. I made it out of cardstock. It's probably too much cardstock, but oh well. And then this is roughly where my bead roll lines are going to be. I mean, it really doesn't matter as long as it's not touching the frame, I'm assuming. And then I'm going to run it up on the little terrace there. And so now I need to see if I have enough sheet metal over there to make one of these. Well, that was pretty darn close, because if I go there and then fold this down, it is right on the lines. So I think I can make this work. We shall see. So I took the template and I moved it over to the sheet metal. Looks good. It barely fit, but it fit. And so I still have to do the one underneath mount, but here's the template. And then I folded everything on the template on the inside because I just want to measure how everything is going to sit on the inside. Like as the sides roll up, I can, massage that, but I want the base floor pan to be right where I need it to be, and I'm happy with that. I mean, this is right here is where the edge, starts to curve. I mean, there's a slight roll up, but it's probably because this whole floor is sagging in. So I'm pleased with that. I'm hoping there's some better steel that I can weld to, but if not, I'll have to redo that, but I would do that in a different section anyway. So moving on, I'm going to cut out the template, and today I am going to try to roll the edges and get everything in place. All right, here's where I'm ending for the day. I got it basically in place. I'm pleased. This piece right here, I'm going to make a new one and weld it in. So I will kind of go from here to here and kind of, there was no way you can make those bends without having to use extra metal. It does look like it's a little high here, but that's actually how the other side is, but I'm going to drop that down. What's stopping it is the metal from the lower piece. And then it kind of fits pretty good in along here. So made a little angle there. So it's kind of working pretty good. I had a little trouble like right here when I was making the recessed for the cab mount because I had that cut here. That was the weakest point, and it just kind of sucked in and wrinkled. But since I have to redo that piece anyway, I'll just straighten that out as I'm going. But the piece underneath, the other cab mount, is a thicker gauge metal, so I need to go get some 14 gauge steel to make the underneath cab mount, and then do pretty much the exact same thing I did there, hopefully with the press. And I used a ball joint removal circle and end, so I kind of use that to make the dimple, and worked out pretty good. So I'm pleased. I did some little bead rolling. It's not perfect, but I mean, it's so much better than it was. And then I'll get all the sheet metal solid and raise the cab, and I'm gonna be super happy with this. So but that's it for today, and I'll catch you guys in a little bit.